captain the team. Junior Macmillan, Kiwani Bartholomew, Aaron St-Hilaire, Christian Niles, Javon Francis, Raheem Hall. Another delivery wrapped on the pad, going down the leg side. The umpire just saying not out. The end of the over. Over number 5. Grenada 6 for 1. Right, just to give you a rundown of the team again. Grenada, Ethan Abraham, he will captain the team. Junior Macmillan, Aaron St-Hilaire, Kevante Bartholomew, Christian Niles, Javon Francis, Raheem Hall, Jaden Bristol, Kamal Dick, Aaron Stewart, Ron Charles. That's the 11 for the Grenada team. So we're back here. John comes in from the Dabo end. Bowls outside the off stump. Left alone again by Niles. Being patient, thinking that they would want to see off the 2 senior bowlers from the Dominica team, but somehow they need to score. It's the 6th over being bowled, and they only have 6 runs at a rate of 1.38. It's lofted in the air, dives. Is he caught? He's gone. Grenada has lost another wicket, but it's a no ball. Oh my. What a tragedy. John has committed a crime. That's the 3rd no ball in 3 overs. Welcome, Hector.
Yeah,
how are you doing?
Not too bad, thanks. The day after all is really lovely to see we can have some cricket.
Oh yes, definitely. Well, Grenada batting first, only 7. Christian Niles is being gifted with another life, a no ball. Ball popping right in front, diving catch by the fielder in cover. But all his effort went in vain.
Well, Grenada will have to conk themselves, and Niles have to conk himself very lucky. It's not his fault that he has been dropped off or caught off a no ball. Just has to make it conk now.
Well, he pulled this one through mid-wicket. Got something on that, and he just got through for 1. So Dillon would be lucky that he didn't get any more run coming from that no ball delivery. But somehow Grenada needs to find some way to score runs. This is the 6th over going. Shortened version of the tournament. I think they would want to try and post a big total so that the bowlers can defend it.
To get a move on. I think 8 for 1 after 6 is a pretty slow start. And looking at the wicket from here, the pitch from here, it doesn't seem like there is any devils there. And it's just that the batters probably just haven't found a way. As you see, another shot being hit over the long on area. Batters not quite finding the timing that they probably want to. You've seen a couple big shots being attempted, but no real timing. Probably that would just come a little later in the innings.
Well, the pitch has not been coming on. The ball has not been coming on to the bat as they would like. Some of the balls have been sort of tacky. You kind of getting some balloon bounces. So they will have to be strategic in terms of how they attack. We see Mr. Macmillan trying to go down the ground off on the upshot, but they have to find some way to score. So I'm not sure what they would do. I haven't seen any other batsman chip or go outside the off stump. You know, those creative ways of finding runs being scored. But let's see Niles. He's a very attacking batsman.
You know, sometimes in these conditions, you need to probably concentrate more on rotation of strike. Just drop the ball and try to pick up the singles, and as things become easier, you can play the big shots.
Yeah, well, Dominica seems to be doing just that, the job, keeping the ball just outside the off stump. Grenada has not scored anything outside the off stump. They're a little bit a swing from the bowlers, and they're not picking up the singles as well. Another short one, hit on the shoulder. The appeal goes up. Umpire says not out. Short ball again. Niles trying to pull it. Seems to be struck on the shot. Another no ball. Oh my. Is it a foot no ball, or is it one that has been over the shoulder?
He was struck by the ball, seemingly around the shoulder area. So it's probably a front foot no ball.
He's just checking, asking the skipper coming across, that's Joseph, asking the umpire what was the no ball for, and I guess he was directed off the cause.
Yes.
But again, Grenada has another free hit. Can he, Niles, execute this time in getting some score of this no ball?
Well, he did try to, well, probably hit this one way, probably somewhere over extra cover, and the ball peeling off the outer portion of the bat and going just over the man at backward point and managing to pick up two.
Well, they take it how it comes. Not in control of the shot. I think he just flinged his bat at anything to see that he can catch water. But 2 is the score to him. Moves the score on to 12 for 1 in over number 6. John with his final delivery of the over.
So one can see that no, he's really pushing the crease. One can see even in his delivery, he's pushing the line quite a bit. So we would probably he will find that from time to time he will be called for no ball. So I guess that's the reason why he probably has to just look at his...
But at this stage, you would want your fast bowlers at on 15 level not to be bowling so many no balls.
That's correct.
In their career. That's something I think the coaches would have to work with him on, and he himself would know that is not acceptable. Coming into a tournament and first 3 overs, you have bowled 3 no balls so far. What do you think that you would need to do when you find a piece of bowling, so much no balls?
I think it comes down to practice, because what you do in practice basically is transferred during the actual play. Because if you there's a things we call what is muscle memory. So if you do this thing over and over and you build up a rhythm in doing it, it almost comes naturally. There are some bowlers who doesn't attack the crease at all in terms of their foot landing. Yeah. So these youngsters have made to understand this. Of course, from time to time, I guess you will see the ground staff coming on with sawdust and thing and so on. A lot of rains we've had in recent time, and I think they've done pretty well, though, to have cricket as it is now at the moment.
Well, the coach of the Dominica team would be scratching his head, trying to find out what is happening with his bowlers, because it's another no ball, another crime committed by a change of bowling. With that, it's Vince coming from the River Road end, and his first delivery was a no ball, and again Grenada cannot capitalize on the free hit.
Yes, and of course one could see him bowling pretty close to the stump and getting a little bit of shape, the ball swinging away towards the offside. So that will be encouraging for him.
Well, it's known that Grenada stadium, bowling first on this wicket, you will get some lateral movement. And so far, Dominica has been executing that pretty well. And again, Grenada is not adjusting to find ways to score. Short ball pulled, and that's a lovely shot there by Macmillan. Will get the boundaries, first boundary of the tournament, and Grenada is off. Could this be the opportunity that they need to up the tempo here?
Yes, well, quite an emphatic way to get that first boundary. It was short, and it was I kind of hit my ball, and certainly Macmillan stood up tall and spanked it in front of square. In fact, he had a lot of time to play the shot, and he got 4.
Well, that would definitely give him some confidence, yeah. Previously, the captain, Joseph, has bowled outside the off stump, and he had some difficulty, playing these deliveries.
In deliveries, bowling so very, very close to the stump, and I think he'll also have to look at his follow-through, almost delivering in front of leg stump and pushing this ball wide, and after pitching going even wider with the natural movement and being called wide. So Dominica will have to look at the extra column and try to cut the extras out.
This is sort of Sean Pollock sort of angle, coming close to the stumps and trying to angle the ball or get in shape, from middle to off stump. It has worked for him in the years. Seems to be something that the Dominican pieces would have looked to apply.
You know, if you have asked the umpires whether they did exercise this morning, but they're certainly having a fair go at it now, having to stretch the arms out on quite a number of occasions so far this morning.
Almost definitely. Here we see Vince, but he's bowling really nice. The shape of the ball, you can see hitting just outside our stump, and the ball having a nice shape away from the batsman, going into the keeper, collecting really nice by the keeper, by the way. Another one again. Oh, the action is really, really nice. Yeah. Just shaping in, falling right over the front leg. And that's the sort of action you would want for your pacers to bowl those outswingers. Does he have the capability of bowling the in-swing? That way would be a challenge for the batsman if he can do that.
So far we've seen away. Again, he's right there and short again. And probably if he needs to do anything is to just adjust the length, put it a little bit fuller with the movement he's getting. So bowling a short makes it a lot easy for the batters to just play shots like these.
Right, and that's the inconsistency you would probably find at this level, where you pitching the ball up, the ball is swinging, and then you have a half tracker giving the batsman the opportunity to score. And Macmillan doing just that, pulling that one, not timing it as well as he did the first one, but coming around for 2. The score now is 21 for 1 in over number 7.
Another wide will add to that total, and of course Grenada now probably beginning to, the batters just probably feeling a lot more comfortable, confident out there, and we've seen an increase in the rate of scoring in the last over or 2.
Yeah, well, I think Coach Telesford knows a bit of the Dominica team. He has been there for a long time, and he would have known the capability of the opening bowlers in Joseph and John. And I think probably he would have told his batsmen, just try and see off the senior bowlers, and then you'll try and see what we can score. And that is certainly what is happening right now. Grenada seems to be getting a little bit more runs coming from them. Mr. Vince in his first over, 11 so far already. A very expensive over at that.
That was a much better delivery. It was just on our body off stump, and again just making a little bit of height and leaving the batter who just opened the face of the bat. But good batting. He didn't look to hit it over the top on this occasion. He just opened the face and picked up a single down behind point. So that's what Grenadians need to do. They need to maneuver the ball around, pick up the singles, and of course the bad balls will come along.
Yes, certainly. I think what you said in terms of having the score to be ticked on, rolling over, not to be bogged down, but trying to find ways of scoring and creating pressure for the fielders and the bowlers, having them thinking and keeping the score ticking. And once you can keep the score ticking, It gives you a chance of having a bigger score, bigger total, and gives you confidence within the wicket that you can really apply yourself for a good inning.
Yes, so you need to, as batsmen, to put the pressure back onto the fielding team, back onto the bowlers. Of course, and one of the ways, of course, to do that is through strike rotation. Not have bowlers bowling too many deliveries at a particular batsman. And for yourself as a bowler yourself, you know how uncomfortable it is.
Oh yes.
You know, to be when the strike is being rotated, every ball you have to bowl to a different batsman. You know. But
it's psychological, that a bowler runs up, and if a run is being scored, it plays on his mind more than a four.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, a four, it's a boundary,
Yeah.
but when a score, you get a single off of every ball, it plays on a bowler more than him
Yes.
getting a boundary.
Correct.
And I think batsmen need to understand that psychology in the batting as well.
Yes.
But here comes the change in bowling from the Dabo end. First delivery. And swinging Yorker. Hitting McMillan on the pad, and there is no run. But we've seen that the Dominican Pacers has utilized the Dabo end for the ball to swing into the batsman, and using the river road end for the ball to move away from the batsman. This is played into the air over the offside by McMillan. Come through for one.
Yes, but a lot of the cricket we've seen so far from both teams is an indication of the level. Of course, it's under 15. Of course, it's a learning curve for these youngsters. And, of course, the signs are there, though, that there are talents, there are potential. And that's what tournaments like that, I think, well, that's what we want to see. And for your coaches and managers, and think, these are the things they will be looking for.
Well, certainly, and this is the grassroots of Winlott Islands tournament and development, and this is what we expect to see. Good cricket being played, skill being displayed, and once we can enhance this here going forward, we can have a stronger Winlott Island teams, and definitely we'll go on to having stronger West Indies teams.
Of course, and that's the ultimate goal. It's the best thing to do. If you're not comfortable on your run up, it's best to pull up and probably not pull a no ball or a delivery that can easily be dispatched by the batter.
Well, most definitely, and you have to be comfortable with how you are running up, and having a smooth run up. His run up is not as smooth as we have seen the previous bowlers. A little jockey in terms of how he gets to the crease, but that is his style, and we have seen, over the years, different bowlers, different style, but at the same time is ensuring that you can get the job done.
It's almost we're looking at it from here. I don't know if you had a walk around the field in terms of the conditions, whether it's a little bit soft still underneath the feet. And one or two of the bowlers do look a little bit gingerly approaching.
Well, you can see in the warm-up where they would have done some warm-up, that you can see the foot marks in the area, so you can tell that there is some moisture in the outfield. But
no ball.
But it's just right for just getting the cricket to be played, and we're grateful for that. The other venues that we're looking to play would have been Bush Issue and Lhasa Jess.
Yeah.
But the rain has prevented such. But we're here in the stadium, and the stadium is always, rain can pour down, but within hours, you're ready to play.
Sometimes we make a lot of conditions, but it's being able to adapt, having adaptability, being able to adapt to conditions. you may go to travel to other countries to play, and sometimes you wonder, you know, the conditions are probably way worse than what you're accustomed to. Yeah, but you have to adapt, and at all levels. As it is now, we can say this is fairly good conditions for cricket.
Oh yes, definitely. I think the ground staff has done an excellent job in getting the facility and the ground and everything ready in time for the start of the match. A couple of dry areas just outside the square, as you can see there, been some sawdust being placed just on the other outskirt of the playing area. Not too much of a danger to the fielders, and I think they have done an excellent job. Kudos to the organizers as well, the GCA. In the short space of time that they got the call to have the tournament being brought here to Grenada, and to find the facilities necessary for a tournament to be played. So kudos to them on that.
Yes.
So we have another change in bowling, after Vince, for his 1 over going for 14, the captain decided that he would have to change, and I think we'll see the introduction of spin for the first time in the Grenada inning. Think that they brought on spin too early?
I don't think so. The faster men were a little bit all over the place. They were a little bit wayward, no balls, extras. So I think, and spin, as you know, in this region is always a challenge. Always pose a challenge to our batsmen. And again, this little bit of tennis ball bounce you were talking about earlier. Ball just gripping in the surface, and the batsman having to almost wait for eternity and drag it into the onside and pick up a single.
Yeah, I think it would definitely cause a problem. If the spinners can get the ball in the right areas, it would be difficult to really get hit down the ground, or even, score off if they put the balls in the right area with the sort of tennis bounce that they are getting from the wicket. And I'm sure that it would probably smooth off a little bit later on as the sun beats down on it. But definitely, the bowlers would want to utilize this condition to restrict Grenada from scoring. Well, the Grenadian batsmen have been trying to pull off short deliveries, balls outside the off stump.
Yeah.
And I would think that they would better try to cut more than try to pull some of the deliveries. Niles comes and covers nice. But Niles is, knowing him, a very attacking batsman.
Yeah.
And so far, he has not been getting the ball up the square, not middling the ball. Thinks he just needs to settle down and focus a bit on how he intends to score. He pulls this one though, and this one gone backward square. Is they going to come back for 2? No, they wouldn't. He moves on to 4. And the score moves on to 27 for 1. Grenada after 7 overs. And this is the 8th over, I believe, going.
Also have to look at the game in terms of the context or the conditions. Very heavy outfield, and one can see that the ball isn't really traveling quickly over the outfield. So the score probably will have to also look maybe when you see.
Oh, most definitely. I think at this point here, Grenada is just trying to see how best they can solidify their inning. Keep the score taken, keep wickets in hand, and then possibly later on they can make the charge with the captain Abraham, the young kayak who can hit the ball, some lofty hits down there at the end. Hopefully they can charge 150, possibly 160. If they can get to that, definitely will give them a chance to have their bowlers to defend.
Certainly. Of course, it's the first game for both team, and you have to settle into some kind of groove. Batters will be just feeling their way.
Yeah, but I think too that Macmillan, has been a senior player for Grenada, I think this might be his third year playing for on the 15. He drives this one though again straight down, easy caught.
Caught.
It's
Yes,
in the
a
air. He's
beautiful
caught.
catch, man.
He's gone. Oh my, Macmillan. Just speaking about him and his seniority. Uh, he's gone. A lofted shot again, trying to go down the ground, and that's what I'm saying. It's difficult if you pitch up the ball on those sort of conditions to go down the ground to score runs. But here we have Macmillan. Ball pitched up, not to the time, leaned back a little bit, chest up, and couldn't get any timing on that. And he goes, and Grenada losing their second wicket for the score of 29. Just as we was talking about the seniority in leading an example, and he was looking good. And look at someone that could probably give, Grenada a good footing. But he goes, and Grenada is in trouble.
Yeah, and of course he attempted that shot a couple of times on a couple of occasions earlier. But what he seemed to have done is that the ball would have been pitched somewhere around middle and leg stump, and it opened the face of the bat. The face of the bat was open. As a result, he sliced it basically into the air, and it went towards mid-off. And the fielder came in there, but he took a really good catch, considering that probably his footing wasn't as firm as he would have wished. But he did get in and take a fine catch quite low to the ground. So it's good cricket, I can't say all around, but good cricket on the part of the Dominicans. And of course, also the bowler who has kept the ball up to the bat and invited the batsman to drive or to go for the hit over the long off area. So good thinking, good planning on the part.
Right. But here comes Mr. Scintille, Aaron Scintille, another seasoned campaigner in the under 15. He's a lot more technical. I know him personally. His father is one of the past national players as well. Dedicated young man, trains with the Ray Duncan Academy. A couple of the national players do train with Mr. Ray Duncan, and is stalwart in the coaching for years, and Scintille is one of the batsmen that can definitely stay and give you a good footing, but can he score quickly? Can they run between the wickets as fast, he and Niles, to, if they're not getting the boundaries, how else would they get runs to give them their team a good total?
Certainly looking forward and expect quite a lot from Niles, especially. He's probably one of the most talented young batsmen around.
Oh, definitely. Well, outside of that too, I'm a little bit familiar with the Dominican team, and I can tell you certainly, Davis, Lewis, and even John, and Joseph, the captain, are really, really good batsmen, and they can hit the ball far. They can time the ball. They run between the wickets really well, especially Neil Davis. So Grenada definitely will have to get a good total on the board to fight off Dominica in this first encounter.
So essentially they're just a little uncertain coming forward, and for a moment probably just beaten again. Probably the ball again just being stuck, just biting in its surface, and with a little difficulty. Again this time movement back into the left-hander. So we've seen movement away, and now movement, quite appreciable movement back into the left-hander. So there's certainly some help out there for the bowlers.
Oh yes, definitely, and he has gotten a little bit alive. You can see his run-up is a little bit smoother. He's bowling the balls a little bit in the right area that you would want to cause the batsman to play, and giving himself a chance to pick up a wicket. So he has a little bit of spunk in his step now, getting the first wicket of Macmillan in his second over. And Grenada, after 10 overs, or 30 for 2, 10 overs.
Yeah, 30 for 2.
Run rate of 3.
Yes, probably could push that up coming to the back end of the innings because, as I say, things can only get easier. For 2. Again, swinging away down behind square, but not quite making contact. Niles into pull that one away, sweep down that one away down towards backward square, not making contact, and another dot. 30 for 2. Christian Niles, the son, of course, of veteran Calypsonian Sean Niles. At times you just look at the background of some of those young cricketers. Of course, Niles, the son of a veteran Calypsonian. Yeah.
Oh, he's a Calypsonian himself.
All right. So I don't know how much he knows about Calypso cricket. So.
Well, he'll definitely have to sing good with the bat here for Grenada. He swings this one again, down back with a square. They scamper back for 2. That's good running though. Niles is the one that's a lot more, brisk between the wicket. And he has to be careful, knowing St. Hilaire is not one of the your quickest of runners. But here they go, plays, good shot, punches. As we said, shot ball. Now the adjustment has been made, and he cuts this one in front of square, and they scamper for 1. And the score moves on to 33. And that's what we've been talking about. Ball outside the off stump. You use the appropriate shot, cut the ball, just trying to get your foot in instead of trying to pull off a length ball and can't score.
Yes.
So.
Of course, he was on top of it. He was across to it and did all the right things. And, of course, got a result, a single. Fielder having to almost camper to keep it under control. Another over goes by. It's 11 gone, 33 for 2. Just maintaining that rate of 3 and over at the moment.
Well, they would want to sort of pick up the run rate, and I can see them trying to, get the tools, get the singles going. They would want to pick up the run rate, like I said. Dominica has a long batting and players that can definitely hit the ball, so they would want to pick up that rate and see how much they can get. Although it's not as the best condition for them that they would like the ball coming on as they would like with the sort of sponge bounce, but they would have to find ways, and that's just the challenge of cricket, having to find ways to score in difficult conditions.
Of course, Augusta maintained a pretty good line and length. He's picked up 1 wicket so far. He's in his 3rd over. And as I said, he's getting some movement. He's really getting that ball to swing come into the left-hander. So again, that movement, probably just doing a bit too much. As Niles was almost trapped on the crease there. And the movement in towards him, probably just defeating him.
Oh, yes, certainly. He is doing something with the ball. And the ball is definitely swinging from off stump into the left-hander. and causing some problems for the batsman. And he's definitely causing problems and pitching up the ball.
Very nice. You just need to get a little bit further forward. Get onto that front foot, nigga the swing, get close, try to get closer to the ball.
I just think he's trying to survive this.
Yes. So good. This time, another no ball. Well.
Wow.
But really nicely played by Niles. He got across and back and made sure he was playing the ball right on in the eye. Pretty good technique generally.
But I think that's Scintilla actually. That's batting.
Scintilla, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Scintilla.
Like I said, he's technically correct. But you want now to take all that correction and find some way to score. Another gifted free hit. Grenada has not really taken advantage of the free hit given to them. I think 5 no balls thus far in the innings, and Dominica not doing justice to the crease, giving Grenada 5 extra runs, and Grenada not really pouncing on those deliveries to make them pay.
Most they've had to pay so far is 2, and it was another 2, and a loud appeal for a caught behind, and no response from the umpire. It's delivery outside the off stump. Probably more like a swish there from Scintilla.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Technically, he's sound. He looks good. As a selector, you would want to say, that is someone that we can look at. He gets across the wicket, he covers his off stump, nice straight bat. But we want to score. Yeah, we want to score. And he's just looking around the field, thinking, okay, how am I gonna get runs? He's on 2 at the moment. Niles is on 8. The score is 37 for 2. After over number 12, Grenada batting the National Stadium. 37 for 2 after 12 overs.
Yes, ready, set, it, start by Grenada. Because the batsmen have not shown the ability yet to pace the field and to hit the boundaries with regularity. Another pull. This time by Niles. Once again. Picked up another single. So Niles is on 9. Scintilla is on 2. 38 for 2.
Well, I think by now he should settle all the nerves. His first year in competition. But always a very confident young man. I think here now, having a little bit a score as a full ball should be signal no ball, and it is signal a no ball. Another free hit for Grenada, and Aaron Scintilla, can he capitalize on this free hit?
Probably would have felt that it could have done better with it also. The ball coming out just the toe end of the bat, and right on the onside, he couldn't score from that full delivery, pretty high over the waist. And again, delivery down the leg side, probably may have to, maybe he may have gotten something on it. So another wasted free hit again by the Grenadians, one can say.
But that was right in the arc. A ball dropped, pitched just around leg stump, turning into the batsman, going down the leg, and Aaron Scintilla had a nice free hit to smash that one down to the boundary, but inside edge, and didn't get any run off it.
Another extra by way of by. So score just mounted incrementally, 40 for 2. The delivery just too full for that type of shot by Niles. It was full, it was outside the off. Somebody was looking to hit it some way through mid-on. Probably should have gone straight or gone just through the offside.
Oh, that's a good shot. That's a good shot. That could go all the way. And it
it
is
does.
4 runs by Niles. And like I said, he's an attacking batsman. He's showing just what he can do. Another shot ball by Dillon Joseph coming from the River Road end. Left arm spin. He's not pitching the ball in the right way areas consistently. But here he goes again.
Yes. So Niles did miss out on the previous delivery, but the second one he did get it away for 4, and this time again getting probably what is an inside edge. I didn't see no signal from the umpire. And 45 for 2. So just having a little move on. 45 for 2 after what? 14?
13. Yeah, but Niles playing that shot, losing shape, not really getting to the pitch of the ball. I think it was just a wild swing.
Yeah.
Just trying to throw bat at the ball and hoping that I connect. I think he's a lot better than that. And he's an aggressive player by nature. But I think if he can settle and think about, the simple things that he has been coached to do, I think he would be a lot better off in terms of, scoring and scoring areas that he would look to score. But there's a change of bowling again from the Dabo end, and there would be more spin. And I think that would be Neil Davis, vice captain of the Dominica team, and that is a player that you would want to look for in this tournament. Really bubbly player, bats really well, and can bowl some good spin as well.
Well, you would know history has shown that his pitching outside the leg stump. It's an appeal in some bounce there for the spinner. Niles looking to pull it away on the onside. He seemed to be have the tendency to favor the onside, Niles. Yeah. So saying Dominica, from the past, going into Dominica in competition, it will be a barrage of spin.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah, and the coach Casimir will definitely know that as well.
Yes.
And Shillingford,
yeah.
they have that repertoire of spinners, great spinners coming from Dominica.
Yes.
And you have Roy Marshall as well, who has been a stalwart in the spin area for Dominica.
And of course, one can forget the old man Thomas Kentish.
Oh yes,
From
definitely.
early times, So Dominica do have a history, and Grenadian teams who have played against Dominica would know that when you go to Dominica or Dominica comes around, you have to contend with a lot of spin and a good delivery there. Looped them, given flight, spin and bounce, and of course Niles there coming forward, grouping forward. Well, there's a man in sleep, so he has to be careful.
But that is the length and line that you would want to have your bowlers being more consistent at bowling. And like I said, Lewis is one of the Winner Islands players and top player in the competition, and he definitely would be a handful for the Grenadian batsman. And if he can consistently bowl that length with the sort of sponge bounce from the wicket, could have problems for the batsman.
Very good. Well played this time by Niles. Delivery. Which motor was like stump turning in, coming into him and coming forward and just playing it out. And of course, Lewis, for more reason than one, is a big fella, big 50 in this age group. So
he has a good size. It's a good size. You would want that from your age group. I mean, the Caribbean per se has more studied youngsters. If you go outside Australia, England, the guys are tall and big at 15.
Well, what has happened to us though?
I don't know. I'm not certain with our growth, but certainly sometimes it's not growth, but it's your skill level and how you apply yourself in the wicket and on the field of play. It's definitely Grenada trying their best here to see if they can post a good total to defend. 45 off of 14. A strike rate of 3.21 so far. Niles is on 14. Aaron Sintele on 2. A change of bowling from the Dabo end. And so far, Dominica has used 7 bowlers so far in 14 overs. So definitely have a range of bowlers that they would want to show on exhibition here. So here comes right hand. This one is flicked down to the deep mid-wicket area. Picks up by the fielder, and they only get 1. Niles seems to be taking the score. Sintele needs to find some footing. He's 3 off of 14 balls.
Yes.
And Niles is 15 off of 43 balls.
Out.
Is he
Caught
gone?
behind, yes.
Aaron Sintele trying to cut this one. This one was a little bit close
Bounce.
to him. And well taken by the wicket keeper.
I think trying to get a move on.
Dijon Benjamin. Well taken by keeper Benjamin. I know Lewis as well keeps, but it's good to see that Dominica has 2 good keepers within their side that can hold their end, and he has been keeping really, really good so far, going across to the pieces and collecting nicely. And there again, a thin edge by the batsman and collected really, really nicely by the keeper.
Yeah.
So Grenada losing their 3rd wicket for the score of 47.
Well, one would like to see. Looking at it, when the shots are played, the western side, of course, and the eastern side of the ground. The eastern side seems to be far slower, probably a little bit damper. The ball doesn't travel as quickly. It seems to travel a lot faster when it's on the opposite side of the field, on the western side. But this is something we can look at, and I'm still thinking about putting the score into perspective. And probably with a slow outfield, a score of 100 probably could have been a score probably 120, 130. But that's left to be seen how it progresses. But Grenada does definitely need to post something probably somewhere in the region of 120, 130.
Oh yes, definitely. The way it looks like, 14.3 overs gone. It's not far-fetched, but they definitely need some hitting. But here comes Kamal Dick, and that's one of the batsmen who can definitely hit it, as the coach Telesford would have seen that the Dominican would have put on the spin. So his counteraction here is to have Kamal to come in and have some lofty blows.
Yes.
He plays this one.
It's gone.
Is he out?
Yes, he's out. They caught it at mid-on. Well, yes, just looking at the bottom of the bat, just scooped it up towards mid-on, looking. Can't believe it.
Oh, he can believe it. He's still there. And he's wondering what happened.
It's a good catch, though.
It looked to me that it came out. It came from the wicket into the air, but it seemed like his bat stuck into the pitch, and probably got a top edge, and it's a soft dismissal.
Yeah, he was down one knee and trying to probably more of a slog sweep, and the ball was for me too full for that type of shot. And all he succeeded in doing is lobbing it back almost towards the man at a shot is made on, just on the onside. And he has to go, first ball.
Well, you could see the intention of the Grenada team and the coach possibly was to send him in to see if he can capitalize with the spin. But unfortunately, that plan did not work out. I still think that, Ethan Abraham would have been a better choice to send in at this point and hold back Kamal. but again, not much overs to play with, and I think Grenada team here now have to find some way of to move on.
Yeah, they need a move on. They really do need a move on, and but again, Kamal coming in not yet into or having an understanding of the conditions, and looking to go from ball one, which is always a dangerous thing to do. Delivery short and again pulled. This time over wide mid wicket. The fielder at long mid on comes around to do the fielding, and they got a single, so he's off the mark. This brings Niles back in. Niles is on 15. We're in over number 15. Aaron Stewart has come in. Pretty diminutive player. Niles defends up towards Madoff. I think Niles now just have to set himself to bat till the end. Essentially, he's there at the end.
Well, I'm sure that the Grenadian batsmen would be disappointed being sent in by Dominica. Not the best of opportunities in terms of the wicket with the spongy bounce, but would be disappointed the first showing and not capitalizing on some of the loose deliveries that the Dominican bowlers would have bowled. And losing 4 wickets for 48 in 15 overs, I think they would be disappointed with the start, and the coaching staff would be disappointed. But nonetheless, Mr. Stewart and Niles have some work to do. 2 attacking batsmen, especially Stewart. I think the nephew, family relative of Stewart that played for Carriacou for West Indies on a 19, captain West Indies on a 19 as well. I wonder what he's doing.
Last time I heard I think he's in England.
Oh.
And I'll give you a story though about him.
It's wonderful keeper.
Yeah, very early days, and went to Carriacou to a game with North Island versus St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I was approached by a young lady who told me that she had this nephew who is very, very keen on cricket and he would like to go to the grounds. I said, well, bro, carry him. And he did bring him. He came up to the commentary booth, spent some time with us. Didn't know who the youngster was. A few years after, he said to me, have you heard of Emmanuel Stewart? I said, I've heard the name. He said to me, that's the young one, that's the same guy you brought to the ground and so on. I felt so good about it. You know? And yeah, I think Junior Murray would have scored some runs there in that game.
Right.
And he got an autograph ball, which he said to me that nobody could have touched. So, I don't know, yeah, so always ask her about him. So the score has moved on to 49, so soon we'll see the 50 being raised for Grenada. It has really been a laborious task so far. Batsman again, another wicket for, no, couldn't be. So it's 5 down, 5 for 49. And the Grenada in a spot of bother, if we can say that.
Yeah, well.
Welcome. Rondell, a busy man all morning.
I will make it that Grenada is not just in a spot of bother, they seem to be in a hole. And they need to utilize the next few overs. And this is an 18-over match, 18 over per side. And so they need to really utilize the few moments that they have to try and ensure that they get at least a target of maybe close to 70, 75. If they're really going to post any problems for the Dominicans.
So you've been down there and you've probably walked the field, seen the conditions a bit. So to put the score in perspective, the outfield seemed a bit slow in some areas.
Well, we had quite a bit of showers. As we know, it doesn't really affect the stadium that much once the sun is out. But it does take a while to, as this one is split into the air. Not a quick single taken. But it does take a while for the outfield to really settle, and it's really good to see that we can actually get cricket, you know. And I think that is the important thing. The boys may just be a little bit rusty. They've been here raring to go, but unfortunately the weather conditions.
Of course, we just lost Niles, which was a big loss. He must be very disappointed to have run out. And certainly he was the one set batter in. And of course these two have to start afresh. And it seemed like, the wicket is just gripping a bit. Ball really isn't coming onto the batters as probably one expects. But it's good education for the batters, for these young batters who have to be able to perform in conditions probably they're not always familiar with.
Well, as I said, and I continue to say to some persons, I've played cricket in many different places. I think I've played in conditions not even close to what we have here, Okay. Pitches where when the ball hits the deck, it just tends to stop, and you have to try to negotiate, and you have to try to make sure that you wait long enough, and so while it may not be the best condition, but nonetheless, you as the batter, you yourself as the bowler, you want to make sure that you make use of the opportunity that you're given.
And I want to believe you would have gotten a bit of that period when, a lot of cricket was played in the backyard, and you mentioned pitches, but it wasn't even pitches. But a lot of these youngsters nowadays are not really into that type of thing. Cricket in the roads and in the backyards and on the beach and wherever you can stand, you play cricket. So.
Yeah, and that's how it's been. Yeah. We play wherever we can with whatever we can. That's the period that I grew up in.
Well, you would have met that period. I thought you was a little bit younger than that. I wasn't thinking that you would have met that, but
well,
just say a bit about how long you've been around, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I've been around quite a while. Many persons would say when they know me, I don't change, but that's just how it is.
Yes.
As Joseph, Jershon Joseph, he returns. He's the captain of the Dominican team. So he's going to take up the attack from the River Road end or the river end. He's going to be bowling to Stewart. Certainly Stewart will want to put on a good score here. Looks to swing this one from way outside off stump to the leg side, which seemed to be a bit vacant, quite a lot of space.
But this batter could have probably better serve playing the ball more on merit. It's side the off, some maybe look to just push it away on the offside, some may pick up a single or two. Looking to club everything away on the onside, just losing his shape a lot, just push one leg going way out towards the leg side and then having a switch really. Yes, and probably we see Abraham at the other end just ushering, probably indicating to him what he should have done. Abraham came out a bit late too. Strategy, a strategic plan to have him out there so late.
Yeah. You look at the stance of young Stewart, and he seemed to be standing somewhat Shivner and Chanderpaul style. Yeah. What he's not doing is really going across to get to the pitch of the deliveries. And I think the bowler in Joseph is very observant, so he's continuing to pitch it wide. This time he pulls and pulls well into the mid-wicket region. Wide long on, they pick up one. So certainly we're seeing that the batters don't seem to be able to generate the sort of power that they need. When I look at them, I see somehow they seem to be stretching to reach the pitch of the ball.
That's size. You need to be more of a timer. Look to time the ball.
This one is played nicely by Abraham, and it's gone through the third man region, picking up 4 good looking runs. I think this is what persons may have expected, that Abraham may have come in a bit earlier.
That's correct.
Really good shot there played by Abraham.
And in the area too, it was full, it was outside the off stump, and he didn't look to go across it, he just opened the face and used the pace of the ball and got it down behind point and away to the boundary for 4. And it did travel quite quickly over the boundary, though we were talking about slowness of the outfield. Just a testimony of the fact that if you can time the ball properly, you would get results.
Yeah, certainly. Timing has to be impeccable. Joseph. Again, looking to really put some power into that one, Abraham, and not really keeping the head down and, following the trajectory of the ball. Guilty of trying to overhit.
Yeah, but Grenada is in a situation now where they have to probably move for power and look to score big. And I think earlier on, the only batsmen really just push it around a little bit more. Something which has really squashed West Indies cricket, both journalists. So it seemed to be just from a generational thing, which I don't agree. But when you look back at the former teams, the former generation of players, these guys run very hard between the wickets. Nowadays, the players seem to just relax a bit more with the running between the wickets.
Well,
to be not reliant on singles.
I often say to Hector that this is because of how we were brought up. Yeah, when your parents send you to the shop and they say, don't let that spit dry, you had to get some speed on and back. So these days it's a bit different. So we're not running as much as we used to.
And probably you had a roller. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the roller. So it was about speed because you had to catch up with the roller too.
Right, and that helped with the whole idea of our running mechanics. Yeah. And so naturally we were really good athletes. I think these guys, our youngsters these days, need to be more outside and do more running around. They tend to be more inside and more into the video games and so on.
Into the talk, you may ask yourself, boy, who really needs to hear that? Because indeed it's a real problem. Although that's the way we may see it as a problem, for them it's just the time that we're in.
So we into the final over of the Grenadian innings, over number 18, score 57 for 5. Abraham, he's not out 5. Stewart, he's not out 5 also. It's one shot, lifting, it's in the air. And
off the body.
Stewart looking to sneak a single. As the appeal went up, but definitely not making contact with the bat. And so Abraham survives.
Quite a bit of bounce there. And again, it's still almost like a tennis ball bounce, not really zipping through. We don't expect at this level to bowlers getting the ball to really zip through at rapid pace, but it was a smart delivery too, defensive delivery.
Dylan John certainly looks as if he can generate some pace as Abraham goes high, hard. This one will go past the ropes now. 4 more runs to Abraham, and Abraham, in my view, has been sent a little too late.
Yes, he was.
But certainly he's doing well.
Yeah, the question was really asked earlier, why has he come in to bat earlier? That is one of the batters on the team. And never know when it has passed 60. Yeah, so. One thing we've seen, though, the control of the Dominicans has been pretty good. The bowler has been pretty good. They have certainly kept the ball well away from the hitting range of the Grenadian batters.
Yeah, they certainly have bowled well. Been bowling some good areas. Even the bad deliveries have not been able to be put away. And so I think the Grenadians will know that they missed out. and many opportunities to score. Oh,
Again, missing out, and they had to run for it, but there would be a run out. I think they may have been the last ball of the over, and they were missing, but Stewart wasn't a lot to the fact that it probably the last ball of the over, and regardless to where the ball has gone, he would have had to run. So just a few things I think which the coaches will probably sit and have a chat with them about in terms of the overall cricket and the overall approach to the innings, and these youngsters probably can only improve. But as I say, it's an experience for them.
Yeah, quite rightly so. It's their first game, and I know many of them will have that little jitters, just really hoping that they will get off. I think more time in the middle is what would settle these nerves, but really not the sort of showing that the Grenadian team will want. But as we always say in this game, runs on the board is runs on the board. You now, as the bowling unit, will have to come out and look to put the ball in good areas, ask a lot of questions of the umpires and maybe see how you can roll over Dominica. And certainly it will not be an easy task, but they have to come out and give their best effort.
Indeed. 61, 62 would be the total needed by Dominica. And as I say, you cannot judge conditions until both teams have had a chance to use the conditions. And it will be left to be seen how Dominica will approach it, or whether Grenada will be able to really make a fight of it.
Well, just to give you a recap of what took place earlier, Junior Macmillan, he himself and Giovanni Francis, they opened the batting for Grenada. Macmillan, he went, bowled Augie for 12. Francis, he was LBW to Dylan John for 2. Christian Niles, he went run out Davies, 15. Aaron St. Hilaire, he was caught Benjamin Bowl Ellick for 3. Kamal Dick, he was caught John Bowl Ellick without scoring. Huron Stewart, he was not out 5. And a quick fire knock of 9 from 7 deliveries for Ethan Abraham. And he went the run out route as well. So therein lies Grenada's total, 61 for 6 after 18 overs. And so when we get back, we will have the reply of the Dominicans, who needs to get 62 for victory. And certainly Dominica has bowled, they bowled very well. And just to give you a quick rundown, Joshan Joseph, he was the peak of the bowlers in my view. He bowled his 4 overs, only went for 7 runs. He did not pick up a wicket, but he bowled really well. Dylan John, 4 overs, 14 runs, 1 wicket. Vince Duro, he had 1 over for 12. Auguste, that's done. Durante Auguste, he had 3 overs, 1 for 7 rather. Davies, he bowled 2 overs, no wickets, 3 runs. And Ellick, he picked up 2 for 3 in his 1 over. And so, again, it speaks of how well they have bowled when you look at the economy rates of these bowlers.
Yes, I was impressed too with Auguste, the way he swung the ball and did get the ball to swing appreciably. And I think generally it was a rather, except for a few no balls and wides, of course, which is expected, it was generally an efficient job by the Dominican bowlers. And they did put the Grenadian under a lot of pressure. And the total would reflect. But again, it's under 15 cricket. It's at that level, anything can happen.
Yes, certainly it is the building stage, we will put it. Just a little bit outside the under 13s where you expect, that's the grassroots level more or less.
Yeah.
And these guys just they're asked to step up. It does take some athletes a while. You have the naturally gifted ones who will just excel, while you have those who, have to work hard, and you have to bring them through all the different training programs to make sure that they get up to the level that you want them. But certainly this tournament is a base and we really want to highlight the fact that we can have it. It's been challenging with the weather. It's really not been friendly, but look, when we look at the conditions out here, I mean, we're really happy with what we're seeing.
Yes, indeed.
So we'll take a break, and we will be back with you shortly to bring you the reply of the Dominicans. So stay with us. All right, well, welcome back to the Grenada National Stadium for the Winlott Islands Under 15 Championship, Game 1, and the first day of action in this Under 15 tournament. The sun is out, the pitch looks good. It still has a bit of settling to do, but certainly we've seen a first half that I would say Dominica has certainly stamped their authority on.
Oh, yes, definitely, Clyde. The opening bowlers of the Dominican attack really did justice in terms of using the wicket, creating opportunities, and restricting Grenada to a total that they think that they can get. Did bowl some no balls, but some untouchable balls, swinging the ball in and away from the Grenadian batsmen. And I think the accompanied bowlers assist them really well in restricting Grenada to 61 for 6 in 18 overs.
All right, so the Grenada, they are now going to look to defend 61. Means that they must put the ball in some really good areas. Again, try to use the little moisture that might be around. Maybe get the ball to swing, to move a little off the seam. And try to see how they can restrict the batting lineup of the Dominicans.
Yeah, well, I think it's a matter of just putting the ball in the right areas. I think they would still get some assistance from the wicket. The young fast bowler in Campbell Dick, young fast bowler, I think he definitely can create some problems for the Dominican batsmen. But he has to come good because knowing Lewis, one of the opening batsmen for Dominica, he can put away bad balls, and he has a reputation of scoring fast as well. So I think if they can get Lewis, make some early inroads into the Dominican innings, Grenada can stand a chance of winning this game.
So here we go. The first ball in the reply is called wide by the umpire, and so not the sort of start that you want. Dick just straying down the leg side there a bit. Wants to keep it tight. Just needs to maybe start it a little bit more on the off stump and maybe allow it just to keep tight onto the body.
Yeah, I think the nerves at the same time, first game, coming in and trying to rush his action. Another one down the leg side. I was wondering why he started over the wicket. I'm not certain if he was trying to piggyback on what the Dominican open bowlers did. But certainly, and he's one of the bowlers that actually swings the ball into the left-handers. So it'd be nice for him to pitch up the ball and use the new ball to get some swing. And if he can get just around middle and off, coming back into the left-hander, could create some problems for the batsman, Clyde.
So in again, this one is lifted over the top. It's going to go over backward square into the boundary. And so that's 4 runs. And so really this short delivery, not any pace really associated with that delivery. Batter doing very well in terms of getting bat onto it. Sort of raced over the outfield.
Certainly, you don't want to bowl, like I said, Lewis is sort of batsman that would pounce on any shot delivery. And he just helped this one over square for 4. Dick would definitely have to pitch up the ball to do better here.
Yeah, much better line delivery. And certainly you want to be able to bowl in this sort of area. And maybe ask the batter himself to try and generate, the sort of pace that he needs. But we've seen Lewis last year. I think he played for Dominica last year.
Yes. Well, he's a winner, Island. That one, he's dropped.
And this is what you wanted. Grenada wanted this sort of early breakthrough. To see the back of Lewis here would have been ideal start for them. but unfortunately they could not hold on to that catch.
A casual actually shot by Lewis, the one, trying to just flick this on his legs and getting a top edge. That one.
And this time he's on to this one, shot of a length again and dispatched over the ropes. The umpire will signal 6 runs as again Lewis very aggressive, and I'm sure that the youngsters from Grenada will be ruining that chance that they just missed.
Oh yes, definitely. And like I said, Lewis is one of the batsmen that you definitely want to get early. He can hit the ball far. He's an attacking batsman, and you don't want to bowl short. If it's one thing that you want to do, is not bowl short. And the Grenadian and bowler Kamal needs to pitch up the ball, get the ball outside the off stump, having him to think outside there.
Again, coming back with a delivery, short of a length, not giving him room.
But it was an easy catch, Clyde.
Yeah, it should have been taken at this level, and in the way that it just bobbled there. You need to
He
take
had about
these.
3 or 4 chances there to take that catch. A slow delivery by Kamal, trying to use his variations. The appeal went up, but the umpire stood the ground and said not out. That's the end of the first over. And Dominica already 12 without loss. And that's a bad start.
Well, 12 without loss. The fact that you had an opportunity to remove one of the batters very early, I mean, it says that if the Grenadians were to put the ball in the right areas, they just may be able, to restrict them. It means that they need a further 50 to win Dominica, and quite a lot of deliveries to do so.
Well, if that's the way that they're gonna start, then the game might finish in quick time. But certainly, Grenada would definitely have other intentions. You never know; you can have a quick start and then 2 wickets fall, and the whole game can change. We know how cricket can be. But Jaden Bristol, another fast bowler that is very, very good. Very consistent in terms of his lengths on the line. Let's hope that he can get it right and pick up an early wicket.
Bristol outside the off stump. Well left there by Alex Armstrong. If he lives up to what his name says, the Armstrong, then certainly he's going to look to belt it around the park.
But he's a big fella. Has good size, so you never know. It seems like he can hit it a long mile. So Bristol will definitely have to watch his length and lines.
Bristol again in. This one signaled wide by the umpire. Umpire George. He's standing at the River Road end, and we have umpire Jack, who is at the Dabo end. He's in again, full of the length, and that's what we're talking about. Give the ball an opportunity to swing.
And that's what you would want. You would want to have the ball just outside off stump, creating the atmosphere of doubt for the batsman, and challenging them to see if you can get a wicket.
Again, short of a length, as we say, tennis ball bounce. Just needs to bring it in a bit. You saw the batter there going after the deliveries, so he's in attacking mode, and certainly you just want to bring that ball as close to him as possible to give yourself a chance.
But the Dominican Pacers would have shown what it takes to put the ball up there, getting the ball to swing, and creating avenues for a wicket. That's the sort of length that you would want. Ball pitched up, just outside off stump, and giving the batsman something to think about, so that you can put yourself in a good position to get a wicket. So far, it's not bad by Bristol, taking his time, trying to pitch up the ball, getting some lateral movement away from the batsman and into the batsman. Well covered up by the batsman here. And that's the sort of bowling that you would want from the Grenadian bowlers. Just to be patient, bowling the ball just within that fourth stump area, and to create some level of doubt within the batsman, and trying to pick back the Dominican batsman here who's after a flyer. That's a good shot. Driven through covers. Could it race? No, it would not go. Doesn't have the legs. Pulled in. They only get one run, but that was a good shot by Armstrong. Pitched up, extended arms, nice elbows, and that one went across covers. And the outfield is a bit thick due to all the rainfall, and there was only scamper for one run. Jaden Bristol has been very good so far in terms of trying to restrict the Dominicans from scoring. The run rate right now, 8.18 in 1.5 overs. Nice run up, steady. And he's pitching up the ball, hoping that he can make some inroads for Grenada. Another ball on stump. The one trying to flick this one. There is no run. Over comes to an end. Second over, Dominica 15 without loss. Right, so we have a change of bowling from the Dabo end. Aaron Sinclair. Comes a full ball. Is it a no ball? Just dip in before it reaches the batsman, and the umpire does not signal. That's the attempt by the bowler, trying to pitch up the ball, trying to get the batsman to play a little bit more. So here comes Aaron again. Short ball outside the off stump. Good technique by Armstrong, coming and cut. Showing good resistance so far. Looks organized. Nice steady balance at the crease. Nice delivery. Signal wide by the umpire. Thought that was marginal. Nice away swing by Aaron. But the umpire has the best seat. And she signals wide. Here comes Aaron again. That's it. Good area. That's the area you would want to bowl. Area of uncertainty. Well checked by the batsman. Slower ball by Aaron. Batsman well forward. Came in a little early. Realized that he was there too early. Checked his shot. And just knocked it in front of square for no run. It's a full ball. Driven. Down to mid-off. Fielder misfields. They're coming back for two. Is it close run out? Easy run. Easy 2 runs there. It's a good shot by Armstrong, a full ball by Aaron Sinclair, trying to pitch up the ball, trying to create some area of uncertainty for the batsman, but the batsman is well up to the task. Looks so comfortable at the crease, unfazed. And the score moves on to 18 without loss. Dominica in pursuit of 61 for victory, or 18 in the third over. Definitely the Dominican batsmen look a little bit more assured, more compact, more confident in the way they're going about their innings. And Grenada would have a task here to do to try and get some early inroads towards it. A full toss again by Aaron. Driven down, back to the bowler. And there's no run. End of the over. After 3 overs, the Dominicans are 18 without loss. Darwin Lewis, he's on 10, and Alex Armstrong, he's on 3. Almost a mix-up. The one striking that one through covers, calling for the single. And Armstrong did not respond in the affirmative. Eventually, misfield by the fielder, and they scamper for a single. Now having a discussion at the middle of the wicket. And the one is trying to tell him that, listen, it was my call. You have to respond. No harm done. Dominica moves on to 19. Here comes Bristol. That's the area you would want to bowl. But Dominican batsmen seem to be very comfortable at this. No threat. The pace is not that fast to say. And Armstrong comes across. Whips this one through between mid-wicket. They go for 1. Will they come back for 2? It settles for 1. It's a good shot. Getting across his off stump and whipping that one through mid-wicket for 1. Showing good technique, showing good skill, and good awareness of what is happening right now. Bristol and the Grenadian bowlers have to find a way somehow to find a wicket. It's well played. Dominicans now seems to be settled a bit more. That's Lewis. And he's a very attacking batsman, sorry. And certainly he would want to get things moving. He charges down, pops in the air. There's no fielder close by. And like I said, I know he's a very attacking batsman. But he has to be very careful on this sort of wicket. The wicket is not one that he would want to attack, but be very selective in your shots, hoping that the bowler would make the mistake and you can capitalize on it. So he just has to settle, wait for the bad balls, and see if he can capitalize on it. Bristol ends another over. Not bad bowling by Bristol, just keeping the batsman in check. After that tough first over by Kamal Dick that went for 12, Grenada has pulled back its some, and just a 5 runs per over after 4 overs. Dominica 20, without loss. Dwayne Lewis on 11 and Alex Armstrong on 4. Here at the National Stadium, if you're now joining us, it's the Windwards Islands Under 15 cricket tournament. Dominica versus Grenada. Grenada batting first, scored a modest total of 61 in 18 overs for 6 wickets. And Dominica now in pursuit. They are 20 without loss. Aaron Sinclair will continue in the double end. Could he pick up a wicket? Could he pick up 2 wickets in this over and put Dominica on the back foot? Another full ball, driven through covers, running close to the boundary. The fielder, quick enough, pulls it back in. Only can get 2. It's a good arm from the boundary end. Lovely outfield. Shining sun. Glorious for cricket after a couple days of rain. It's wonderful that we can get some sort of cricket, but here comes Aaron again. Another one, shot one, but he pulls over mid-wicket, and that would go into the boundary for 4. And the Dominicans look like they're in full pursuit. They wouldn't waste too much time. A short ball by Aaron Sinclair, cracked by Armstrong, get in the right position. He looks confident in his make and his skill set, and that one was smacked over mid-on for 4 runs. You don't want to be bowling short to the Dominicans. They have shown that anything short they would pounce on, and they have definitely done that. Unlike the Grenadian batsmen, who have gotten some short balls, free hits, and could not capitalize on these. He charges down the wicket and plays with a nice straight bat down to mid-on for 1. Armstrong looking in good nick. And Dwayne Lewis looking around, thinking, I want to get this over and done with quickly. But Aaron Sinclair may have different ideas in his mind. Well ball. Nice delivery on, middle and off. Not too pitched up. Just the right length, but Lewis is well up to the task. Looks so eased, unbothered, non-challenged at the same time. Another one. Slow ball, just popping on the leg stump. The one was on top of it, and there is no run added to the total. They were not of the fastest of the bowlers, and I think the batsman would like the ball to come on to the bat a little bit more. As you can see, them chipping. Another one flicking down the leg side. They appeal, but that one definitely was on the leg stump. Outside the leg stump, pitching outside the leg stump. The one going for a big heave over mid-wicket, but missing this one out. And that's the end of the over. Over number 5, Dominica, 27 without loss. Loud appeal, stifled there. Not out, says the umpire. Bristol doing the best that he can um, to make some inroads. Be an uphill task. What can he possibly do to get a wicket here for Grenada? But he carries on. Oh, that one just beating the outside off. That one getting some lateral movement. There is Bristol. Nice swing. Pitched up. Enticed for the drive. And missing the edge. And the batsman think that he missed out. And Bristol will think that he missed out too in not peeling the edge. But here he comes again. Well, Armstrong seems like he wants to get this over and done with. He's charging the bowler. Can see he's getting across his off stump, trying to cover up the swing. That's what I was saying early in the Grenadian innings, just to get across to the off stump to cover for the swing. And here we can see it exhibiting by the Dominican batsman, who looks fully in charge of this game. And if Grenada does not get any wicket, Dominica would definitely run away with this. Run rate of 4.7 so far, and we're into the 6th over. Welcome back, Hector. Bristol coming from the river then seems to be the stock bowler for Grenada. Trying his best to see if he can pick up a wicket. 2.5 overs so far. Just 5 runs. Bowling in the right areas, creating, having the batsman to play. But not peeling the edge, but passing the edge a couple times in his spell, but unfortunately could not pick up a wicket. He is doing his bit, but so far the Dominicans are fully in charge, in control, and definitely stamping the authority as one of the stronger teams in the competition.
Yeah, of course, and being 27 for no loss at this stage. I think Grenada probably didn't pass 27 until about the 9th over, 10th, 11th over, or something like that. So they were way ahead in terms of where Grenada were, and certainly rather dominant. The batters look pretty good, and they have been attacking when the opportunity presented itself. So, Dominica really looking like looking the part, looking like the team probably to beat. We haven't seen, of course, we will see St. Vincent and St. Lucia later on. But all for now, Dominica, the one really doing the early runnings here.
Oh yes, they seem to have settled in really nicely. Not much of a trouble from the Grenadian opening bowlers. Bristol seems to be the standout bowler, creating all the opportunities for Grenada, but yet for not getting a wicket. We have a change in bowling coming from the Dabo end, and we will see the first sign of spin here. And is it the captain? Yes, the captain has brought on himself, Ethan Abraham. I thought that he came in the Grenadian innings a little bit late. Seeing that the overs would have been restricted to just 18. I think that was one of the tricks missed there by the Grenadian batsman. Is he dropped?
He's probably
Again.
Drop it, yes.
Well, Lewis seems to be walking with his golden pen. That's the second time he has been dropped in this inning. Ethan bowling his first ball seemed to have been an easy catch.
What?
And that's disappointing from the Grenadian players. Didn't peel back quick enough. I think he thought that he had it under control.
Correct.
Didn't peel back quick enough and had to stretch for it, off balance, falling and dropping an easy catch.
Yeah.
That would have given them some boost to see if they can restrict Dominica to not getting that 61.
Yes, and Yeah, a couple of chances, and of course, I have chances probably in the field too. One pretty earlier on, which was fumbled, and probably they had a chance of a run out. And as a result, Dominica has capitalized or is capitalizing on those errors by the Grenadian team. When you're chasing such a paltry total, you need to, of course, to feel well and ensure you take your chances and even half chances. When you create even a half chance, you have to try to convert it.
Oh yes, definitely. But a good shot there by Lewis, cutting the ball to backward point, and they just come back for 2 run. Here comes Abraham again. A little bit of turn here. It's interesting if he can get the ball to between middle and leg and getting outside of off stump away from the left-hander and see if he can create. You have one slip, backward point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, deep mid-wicket, and a man on the 45.
Just a little bit wayward, just pulling a little bit down the leg side. I think he too has to establish the right pace and probably to get the ball to grip and bounce, as we saw from some of the Dominican spinners, where they did get some turn and some bounce of the pitch. I think the pace have to be right, so he has to settle in and probably learn what is the right pace on the pitch, on the wicket so far. So,
yeah, I think that would be the skill of the bowler to assess the wicket, assess the length that needs to be bowled to create the opportunities for his team. As the captain, he has to lead from in front.
Yeah.
But it's early signs so far. But if they can definitely get a wicket here, definitely will give them a chance. The game is not over completely, although Dominica seems to be in charge.
Yes.
But
indeed.
you never know with cricket. A good start, 2-wicket fall, and then some nervousness could come into play. And once the overs are going down, panic starts in. Indecisiveness in terms of judging shots, and a lot of things could happen there, especially with youngsters who are now developing. So you would want Grenada, the bowlers, to bowl the ball in the right areas. Hopefully a chance can come, and then you never know what could happen afterwards.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. But I guess the whole thing, the mindset the team should have come out with would have had to be to grasp every chance, try to create every opportunity you can to take wickets. And I'm sure that that was told to them by the coach and the whole management team, that you got to go out there and fight it. It's a small total, so you have to go out there and attack. Make sure you pick up wickets early. But unfortunately, that didn't happen.
They would be very disappointed in the first over, where they would have dropped Lewis, and that there would have given them some confidence going with a low total, or having to defend a low total. I think they missed that. Dominica is 31 without loss. You can see some of the shoulders being dropped from the Grenadians already, knowing that they only have 61 to defend.
Wider side, you have some very wide, almost missing the edge of the pitch itself, very close to a no ball. It's just pitching on the edge of the wicket. So so wide being given. 32 for no loss. Lewis is on 14. Armstrong on 12. Begin another wide delivery outside the off stump, but this time getting some bat on it. And getting it out just behind point on the offside. No runs can be had, so it remains 32 without loss. And probably the type of start Rondell will come back that as the Grenada team probably didn't want to see.
Yeah, really not the sort of start that they expected. Having missed an opportunity early to see the back of Lewis. think they've tried well in terms of their fight back.
Yes, probably. Maybe 3 and then another drop catch in the previous over by Abrahams and then maybe I look back again at another fumble which could have brought a run out quite early in the pit. So just a couple of things, just a little bit untidy in the field, the Grenadians. We saw a couple of fumbles.
Yeah, they need to just settle. I think for many of them, this will be their first outing. And so they just need to settle the nerves a little bit. And hopefully going forward, even with the 10.1 overs remaining, they may just look to give their best.
So the 3-4, no loss. One can virtually see the difference in experience between some of the players on the Dominican team compared with the Grenadians.
Yeah, certainly the Dominicans do have
punch along the ground again, down towards long off. Down towards mid off, the fielder comes around to his left. Do the filling.
Yeah, so I think the Dominicans, they have the experience of Lewis. He played at this tournament level before. They have a number of them, Davies. There's quite a few of them that have played at this level before, and so a lot will rely on them. But I think what we're seeing from them is that the others coming in, they have these guys to look up to, and so it makes a bit more for them to settle earlier. The nerves would come out because they've been accustomed to this. And it's good to have experience within your camp.
Indeed.
That can just guide you through.
Abraham will continue.
But again, we have to give kudos to the Dominican Cricket Association, the Ministry of Sports over there, in terms of trying to make sure that they get their youngsters into a scenario where you have a sort of player performance center, or more or less a program for their spotting their young talent.
Indeed. A little bit short and a little upishly on the onside, down towards the fielder made on. Long on, comes off the boundary. And Dominica doing it rather easily. 36 for no loss. Because Lewis is on 16. Certainly has to battle here. Now he has gotten his opportunities. Goes Armstrong looked rather solid on the other end.
Yeah, good opening stand by these two. And they want to carry this as long as they can. They continue to play the good technical cricket, just finding the gaps, rotating the strike. And certainly they will make light work of this total.
Yeah, of course. It's one of the things we are clamoring for this morning with the Grenadian team, to just push the ball in front of them and pick up the ones, and so that was available. We haven't seen too many shots attempted, hikes across the line from the Dominicans. They have just balls on the offside. They just look to play it into spaces on the offside. It's them on down the leg side, and it's coming off the pad and dropping away on the onside.
Yeah, Abraham just wants to tighten that line a bit, maybe get it to pitch on the stump and maybe hold its own, remain on the stump. And just maybe get LBW coming into play.
If anything, it just tended a bit to be a little short outside the off stump. The batsmen look quite comfortably just going on to the back foot and playing it on the offside. Much better delivery. You want to be hitting the stump more often or not. Deliveries.
Yeah, and this is the sort of line that you want him to bowl, the sort of length. The batter was there wondering whether he should stay back or whether he should come forward. And so, luckily for him, he had good hand eye. But this is the sort of areas you want them to, especially as a slow bowler, spinner, you want the batsman to take that extra second to think about what he needs to do.
Of course. And you want quite a high percentage of ball, as you said, to be hitting the stumps. Test the defense of the batters. It's 36 for no loss.
Charles here in his second over, he's gone for only 3 runs. He's bowled well, and so I think Grenada will be looking at him to just keep it tight.
Yeah.
Certainly he's using the conditions well. You see that extra bounce that he's getting, and maybe just hoping that the batter may try to play through the line and get one up in the air.
Yeah, it's always a game of patience. You ask the batter to maybe just push through on this occasion. Could see the extra effort, and Armstrong there just beating there for pace. Maybe another bounce also. Yes. I don't know how much you remember Raw Lewis. He does look a bit like Raw Lewis in his action and everything else.
Yeah, he just
Other
maybe needs a
Bruce
bit more
involved.
of the pivot.
Yeah. Delivery a little bit comical there, as the bowler and the batter just got a little bit entangled, and Lewis going to the ground. In fact, both of them was played down towards mid-on, and there could be no run. So just a little squeeze being put on there by the Grenadian team. They need to do that. This is what results in wickets. Give them a lot more air given, and a catch taken. Yeah, and that is just what we were saying. A lot more air given outside, just around outside the off stump, and the batter looking to play it away into the offside and hitting it in the air. And the fall of the first wicket for Dominica, as Armstrong, he's been going caught in the middle, in the cover area. So this is what you were saying, keep it in front of them, make them play, and the wicket has come a little bit late, but you never know, as you say, in this at this level.
Yeah, certainly good areas there by Charles, just getting that ball to leave the right-hander, and not controlled by Armstrong, playing it a bit too much into the air, and a simple catch taken by the fielder there in the cover. But that's what you want. You want to go down fighting. If you're going to lose, you have to lose, with a fighting cause. And certainly what we've seen with the way Charles have pitched these deliveries, I think that has caused the pressure on Armstrong, and he gifted his wicket there.
Success for Grenada. Some time coming, but they will certainly be happy with that. Lewis is still there. He's on 16. Goes through.
And Davies
Josh on, yeah.
Davies coming out to do battle. Again, one of the players that has played for Dominica at this level before.
He's beaten by 1-2, which bonks and turn again. And he's going to inch onto the front foot and almost look ungainly, rather ungainly, as he tried to play it down on the onside. A good over in the end, in fact, a successful over. It is for the Grenadians. And this will certainly bring a little bit more spirit back into proceedings as far as the Grenadians are concerned. They are really beginning to look very much down and out. That's what wickets can do. And we may well see probably the chance now of probably 1 or 2 or 3 falling in quick succession.
Well, this is 2 of the more experienced batters for Dominica. And seeing the back of one or maybe both of them will certainly give the Grenadians a bit of zest. They will want to certainly drive home that advantage to see the back of any of these 2.
They would know that Lewis have offered chances earlier and will probably offer more of them. cuts down behind point on the offside. And a very good running by the Dominicans. I think they've gone for 2. So that's what we didn't see this morning from the Grenada. There is urgency in running.
Yeah, they feel that they're just a little bit late in terms of returning the ball. Needed to have a bit more urgency, and you want to impress these things onto your fielders, you know, the urgency in terms of getting to the ball.
Inside the off stump.
Now, at this level, you want to encourage the youngsters to, you know, show the sort of energy and effort that is needed, so that, you know, persons can see that they're ready and willing to go to the next level.
Even some air and down towards the field and getting a hand to it, but can't hold on, and another chance. So, a little bit disappointed there. It was a delivery tossed up. And again, Lewis, the recipient again of another chance.
Yeah, it's always difficult having to run back to take the catch. And again, in running back, you want to run more or less side on so you get a good view of the ball. So again, not really doing the basics right.
And this time, going for another big hit, missing outside the off stump. So if it's Lewis probably saying, if it's my day, I may as well show caution to the wind. You know, this time he's down the track and hits it down through mid on again. The fielder just not timing it. The fielder coming across to his left and do the fielding.
Yeah, that's the good thing about Lewis. He's been there for a while. And so I think he has the confidence that now he can really chip down, get close to the deliveries, you know, look to really put back the ball and maybe get this game over. So Dominica requiring some 21 to win. And they still have some 7.1 overs to do so. So not really anything to worry about.
No, not under pressure at all.
And certainly give the Grenadian boys some credit. I think they've done well.
Yes, they have. Let's see if they can put the squeeze on and probably push the asking rate a bit up a bit to and give some scoreboard pressure.
Yeah, certainly if they can get the dot balls in. 20 needed from 42 deliveries. So it means that they will need to really have some good maiden overs. Or maybe even if you give away 1 per over, you know, the fielding needs to back up. And the captain will certainly have to set the field that says that we want to restrict the run scoring.
Indeed. Dominica would be very confident and that they have this one wrapped up.
Yeah, Charles again to Davis. Davis, as we said, is a pretty confident player. And you see it in the way that he gets across to stroke the ball.
And this time pulled. 42 for 1. Driven up towards a wide long on. The fielder comes around to his right and does the fielding again. But another single, that's probably all Dominica need. It doesn't have to go later hunting at this stage.
Yeah, certainly ones will bring them victory. And Grenada just needs to tighten the screws here, maybe bring in the field a bit and force them maybe to go over the top, try something different.
As you said, and And over the top he goes, yes. And probably one bounce into the boundary. And that's 4. So attack there by Davis. It was, or was it? Lewis in fact going on the attack, hitting it high over long on, and he goes to 25, 47 for 1. So the end is nigh.
Yeah, guilty there of pitching full.
Delivery which was really short and almost dying towards the batsman, and the batsman couldn't time it. It was short and a little bit wide, and drawing away and looking to pull it, hit it through the onside. And this time again, and this one has gone down behind square on the onside, and a single.
Yeah, Charles just guilty of pitching too short in this over. And really, I think this was the over where you wanted to build the pressure. Charles has been getting the ball to turn and grip, and certainly not pitching in the areas that will build pressure.
It look a little tight during the over. Not getting the ball as full as he probably wanted it. The one occasion when he did get it close to the batsman, the batsman was able to hit it over long on for 4. So, and certainly after that, there was a couple drag downs which he got away with. 48 for 1. Lewis, who have had his chances, as we say, he's on 26. 2 to Davis. Bartholomew, yes. Maybe into the attack. Maybe on off stump, which is played up towards extra cover. Still 48 for 1. Bartholomew delivery, good delivery. And again, forcing the batsman back and having to negotiate quite some bounce. It's no run. Oops. And this one is smashed along the ground. For a moment, the fielder probably didn't quite pick up the pace, but it has gone for 4. And again, more pressure being released. It was a high one. Luckily, it was still underneath the level of the hip, so therefore it wasn't called no ball. But Lewis is on 30 now. Probably would want to finish this in a hurry.
And just requiring 10.
Again, that good delivery. Just watch you want good pace, the right type of pace, just slowing it up a bit. And Lewis coming forward, but uncertainly. Down the track and hit it early down towards long on. The fielder run around towards his left again. And gets a single. So he's on 31, 53 for 1. Only a matter of 8 runs needed for Dominica to register the first win in the tournament.
Yeah, I like the confidence of the 2 batters out there. Lewis not afraid to use his feet and get down to the off spin. Certainly his mind is made up that he wants to finish this quickly.
In this time, another drag down by Bartholomew. So in the end, though, does manage to close the over off. Close the over out. It's 53 for 1. 41 to Lewis. Davis is on 2. Dominica doing this rather easy at the moment. So you have really, as you can see on the screen, very brilliant sunshine after the rather murky conditions that we encountered over the last few days. Lots of rain, a lot of rain. I don't know what it was like throughout the region in the other Windward Islands, Southern Caribbean, Southern Windward. But I know we did have a serious system which really dumped some water.
It's certainly done a number on this tournament. We're just hoping that the sunshine can continue to be as brilliant as it is now, and that we can have, the boys back into the 50 over version.
Shot again down the onside, not timing it. It's down towards mid-on. The fielder come around to his left and does the fielding rather easily. So Lewis continues to go hard at it.
Yeah, I think Francis here will want to pick up a wicket just to give his team a bit of a moral booster, as this one is lifted and it's taken.
Yes.
It's taken. Catch is taken. What a catch. I really thought he missed it there, but somehow he was able to get his hand above his head and take this one in a falling motion.
Yes.
Extraordinary.
Finally, Lewis can depart. He has had his chances and just holding out now towards long on. And Grenada picking up a second wicket, maybe a bit too late. But still, I think the guys would be pretty happy to see the back of Lewis.
Yeah, certainly will be happy. They still have to contend with Davies. But certainly seeing the back of Lewis, who has been the main contributor to the 53 so far. He goes for 31 or 40 deliveries, some 3 fours and 1 6 in his innings. Definitely, we were just saying that Francis will be looking for the breakthrough, and he has gotten it.
Yes, indeed, he has gotten it. And again, just tempting him there, just as you say, good. It was a good line too. It cramped him for room. It was more into his legs, and he couldn't really free the arms. As a result, just lifted it out towards the field at a deepish made on, and he went.
Yeah, certainly good breakthrough here. The objective here now will be to pressure the new batter, not really give him the singles. Maybe just cause him to think his game a bit. Maybe ask him to go over the top.
Yes, there could still be some drama left in the encounter.
Well, it's not over until it's mathematically impossible.
That's correct.
And so as long as it's mathematically impossible, the game can always swing.
And cricket being the game that it is, just can't predict the result or what's going to happen next.
Francis certainly will have an extra zip in his deliveries. He has gotten a wicket. He will bring some level of confidence to him.
That was a good delivery to the new batsman, giving him some air and forcing him to come onto the front foot. This time is a little short and giving them the opportunity to just push it into the offside and take a single. One thing the Dominicans have run, they have run well. This brings Davis back on strike. 34 for 2. 54 for 2. And a big shot attempted down towards the mid-off area.
Yeah, you look at the returns from the Grenadians in the outfield, and certainly they need to get the ball up a bit. A possibility there for an overthrow, but not capitalized on.
Well, so far what we've seen is probably you got to give yourself a chance. You got to, throw the ball up. The batters are quite willing to go after the big shots. And it's another single. Another ball struck down towards long on. So doing it rather easily. But they say 1 blow away, 6 runs to 7 runs, in fact, to win. maybe at that stage what you need to pull the field in and ask them now to get it, maybe to go over the top and maybe pick up another wicket or two.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, at this stage, you have nothing to lose. You can certainly dangle a carrot and hope that they fall for it. Bring the field in and ask the batters to go over the top. Cut off. It will certainly cut off the easy singles that they've been getting. And right there, you can build some pressure. Are they thinking like this? That's the question.
A little bit untidy there by the bowler. Should have stopped that.
Yeah, and it just tend to be, when you look at some of the Grenadian players, you do see a bit of nerves. It could be nerve-wracking playing at home where your family and friends could come and watch you.
So this is more like it, a delivery tossed up, and the batsman looking to for the big shot there and just managing to the inner portion of the bat and go towards the mid wicket. This time a full delivery, and they're able this time to cross for a single down towards mid-on. So Joseph is on 1, Davis is on 4. 56 for 2. So would they dare to probably finish it in one blow?
I can tell if it's there, knowing Joseph, he will go after it.
Beaten outside the off stump this time. Good delivery. Joseph coming onto the front foot and not quite being able to locate it. And a full toss and hit to the right of the bowler, and they'll cross for another single. And this will take Joseph to 2. Yeah, 57 for 2.
You look at that delivery and the fact that the ball seemed to have traveled a long time in the air, and the bowler followed through as he should have been able to pick up that.
It's gone for a big hit down over the onside, and probably it has gone for 4. So that will take it up to 61. 6. Well, that's the end of it. Yes, it has gone all the way. For a moment, I thought it has gone for 6, but they have certainly finished it with one blow in the end. Good hit by Davis. As I said earlier, he's one of the top players on the team. But he will finish with 10. Joseph will finish with 2. 63 for 2. An emphatic win by the Dominicans.
Yeah, really good stuff from the Dominicans. Yeah, they came out very positive with Lewis and Armstrong forging a really good partnership for the first wicket. And then you had the fall of Armstrong. Not long after, Lewis went. But Davis, really not much bothering him out there. He was able to pick up the winning runs, and so Dominica, they bring up their first victory. Kudos to the Grenadians. They fought hard, and they bowled some 15 overs out of the 18. So it says that they didn't just give up, but they fought. And some little areas where they could have capitalized, and maybe the context of this game would have been a lot different.
Yes, probably holding on to a catcher and there, and probably affecting a run out. That was probably possible. Could have certainly, and that was very early on. Possibly could have given them, that impetus, and maybe just set the cat among the pigeon and have the Dominicans, thinking that they're under more pressure than they really are, and we know what that can do. But that was not to be, and Dominica in the end proved that they were, by far the better team today.
Yeah, so credit to the Dominicans. They have registered their first points, and so they're off to a good start. Grenada will have to regroup look at their areas, the catching, the fielding. The bowlers not doing too badly in the context of the match that they have before them. But certainly they will want to look at their game and look for a winning formula.
Yeah, and in this formats, in this tournament, you don't want to go down in your first game. As it's a little bit makes it a little bit difficult to come back. But that's what it is. Because Grenada is on home soil, and you know how difficult it is. Some of the kids, their parents are in the stands looking at them, and so on. So it's really be nerve-wracking, as you said.
Well, just to give you a rundown of what has taken place, and the Dominicans in response to Grenada 62, and Darwin Lewis, he was removed by Francis for 31. He was caught Charles, bowled Francis 31. 31 came off 40 balls, 52 minutes, striking 3 fours and 1 6. Armstrong, who partnered Lewis at the top, he went caught Francis, bowled Charles. So I repeat of the name, the boys, one bowled, one caught, Holy up. The other one bowled and the other one caught. So good going, good combination. Armstrong, he went for 14 of 34 deliveries, 1-4, and didn't strike any sixes. Davis, he was not out 10 from 12 deliveries. And joining him, Captain Joseph, he was not out 2 of 4 deliveries. Bowling for the Grenadians, Kamal Dick, he had 1 over for 12, didn't pick up any wickets. Jaden Bristol, he bowled 3 overs, one maiden, 5 runs, really good bowling from him. Saint Hilaire, that's Aaron Saint Hilaire, his 2 overs went for 10, didn't pick up a wicket. Ethan Abraham, he bowled 3 overs, 12 runs, and didn't pick up a wicket. Ron Charles, 3 overs, 1 maiden, 9 runs, 1 wicket. So good bowling from Charles. Keontae Bartholomew, he had 2 overs, 13 runs, no wickets. And Javon Francis, he had 1 over, 2 runs, picked up a wicket. And so certainly signs for them. The bowling is looking pretty good. I think the batters may just need to add some value to what we've seen in terms of the bowling. But for the Dominicans, it's been an all-round game. I think they really played well. And so they are the victors in the first match. Stay tuned, viewers. We are going to be back here after this break, where we will see St. Vincent coming up against St. Lucia. And that will be at 1:30 p.m. And we're expecting a good, keen 25 over per side contest. So from us here at the Grenada National Stadium, we say stay tuned. We will be back on air in just about half an hour's time.